Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning trading session. The markets have just opened up, and let's see what we got going on here this morning. Let's take a look here at the overnight, maybe on the Eagle. So let's roll back. Oh, a little bit quieter. We had the London Open here. Let's see what happened in the Asian session. Oh, not so bad. Not nearly as much of a range as we've seen the last few days. London opened, a little bit of a rally up, and here we are, a little bit of a reset. So a slight opening gap, perhaps. Maybe we'll see the market try to get down into that today. All right, well, we'll let them be for a little bit. I'll shoot a trend line across the tops here, just for reference. And it looks like we've had a secondary trend line developing, something like that. And across the lows. And those trend lines are purely for reference sake. We know there's going to be traders out there watching trend lines. Okay, and it looks here, according to our Falcon, we're just about to hit the median line here, or just a little bit of a reaction to the median line. Did they get much above the primary resistance? Oh, a little bit. Came up a little bit short of the secondary resistance line. All right, so here we are, still kind of bouncing around a little bit. Working on a proper trend change signal. We got a bunch of double dots down here, though. Two sets of double dots, actually. And now we're coming back with a proper trend change signal, which quickly reversed. All right, so they're obviously still searching for direction. Crude oil looking a little bit messy this morning also. Let's see if I can bring over a crude oil chart. So quite the range here for crude oil. A little bit of sideways congestion. Our filter down here looks like a tartan, flip-flopping back and forth. Doesn't really look like either side is getting much control here. If we get a failure either through the top or bottom, though, you could possibly set this up as an OCO. You don't want to place your orders too tight, however. because the market is going to try to test either side. Remember, when you get a trading range like this, sometimes the best thing to do is just to let the market break out of the range, retest it, and then look for that buying or selling opportunity. Sometimes when you get in on this first breakout, you fool yourself because the market may well reverse on itself, end up back inside this range, and then you're stuck on the wrong side of the trade. However, if you wait for the retest and then the market to continue lower or higher, whatever the case may be, then you have a better chance of being on the right side of the trade. But these channel formations are always so tempting, these ranges. When you have a well-established range, this is something that we don't talk about very often, but when you have a well-established range, if you're so inclined, you could place a limit order and try to sell at the top end of the range in anticipation of the market going lower, or buy at the bottom end of the range in anticipation of the market going higher. It's a little bit ballsy though. The nice thing about using a limit order that way, let's say we identify the top of our range here and the bottom down here. Nice thing about using a limit order that way is that it's usually fairly cheap to cover the trade. So let's say we throw in a limit order, and let's say we're going to try to sell near the highs, and we can usually cover the trade relatively tight. So you see, even in a market like crude oil, risking 2% of our account, we can take 4 contracts. Look at that move. That doesn't require very much to make a very substantial profit. Let's dial this down a little bit, and we're going to take our limit something like this. So this is how people get those really juicy risk-reward ratios that you hear about. You look at this, we're risking $160 to make $400. Of course, we're trying to predict what the market's going to do next. Generally, the way I like to enter a trade is I like to make the market prove me right. So I try to get in with some momentum. Looks like we may have just guessed a little bit wrong on our entry here. Alright, so we're going to see here in a moment they're probably going to engage us. I don't like the fact that we're getting a trend change signal to the upside here, so we're going to might find ourselves on the wrong side of this trade. See, there you go. There's the downside with trying to use a limit order, is that you're actually predicting what the market is likely to do next. And if you guess wrong, well, there you go. You end up taking a loss. Now, it's a small loss to be sure. That's the upshot. But personally, I find it more difficult to try to predict what the market will do. Now, as far as limit orders go again, there's going to be a bunch of limit orders going in here now to buy. So people are going to look for that retest. Traders are going to look for that retest now and try to buy the market when it comes back down in anticipation of it going higher. They feel that now they know the direction of the market, this is going to be a good opportunity to get in. Oh, shoot, did I not submit my order? Gotta remember to submit your order. Oh, darn it. So now if I had actually remembered to submit my order, we would be in a long position. And trying to get to our profit objective. There we go. So I'm going to change this for our trend change order, or our trend change signal, which we have now. So we would have hit our profit objective there the way that we had it set up. So you can see there's advantages. One of them being you don't have to, especially trading a market like crude oil, you don't have to worry about running out of money. Doggone it. These ranges are just so expensive. Oh, because I'm still on 1%. That's why. So we've got a trend change signal now. I would cover back below this area of support. We've got an opportunity for a second push on the entry, so hopefully we'll see a little bit of momentum. All right, so we'll put that away. I just thought I'd mention that because people sometimes ask me, why do we have all these orders here? How do you use them? Well, that's how you use them. You use a stop order when you want the market to come trade through your order. You use a limit order when you're trying to second guess where the market is going to reverse from. Okay, and speaking of momentum, it looks like the NQ has made a decent little run up. If I haven't mentioned it already, Jim just shot us the advanced decline numbers. We've got 1,900 buyers, 700 sellers. So about a positive 1,200, which is on the surface fairly bullish. And you can see the result of that. And now we're getting a trend change signal lower. Yay. Is that it for the buyers so soon? The problem with these counter trend signals is we have an obvious uptrend, and it's at quarter to the hour, typically my least favorite time to trade. If this signal develops, I'm going to wait for a second push on the entry. Okay, so here's the down, here's the up. We'll see if we come back with a down, in which case it'll be a late filter entry, which should be a little bit more reliable. Yellow bars on the hawk, big surprise there. Things kind of going sideways, and the eagle also starting to look a little bit more bullish. I guess we can get rid of these lines here now that you can see we've shallowed out here. We've broken to the upside, so the eagle definitely looking a lot more bullish. This bar is against the ATR. It is a hard edge bounce. There's nothing that says you can't take the signal earlier, but we've been using the ATR as a filter of late. The problem with this is that what we're seeing here may just be developing into like a large bear flag. It may not actually be a change in trend just yet. Oop, I kind of let that get past me. All right, well here we'll use the current bar. We'll trade it the way we normally do. So the current bar is going to be our signal bar if it continues higher. Oh boy, what choppiness. All right, we got a test of the extreme, similar to a rule of three type scenario that we looked for on the eagle. I might only do a onesie here. Okay, what is it? 647. Aye, look at that. They're just not giving it up. Come on. Come on. Get below those lows. Okay, I think I'm debating getting more anxious with my stop. All right, we'll take the stop in above the highs here. Okay. We'll see here in a moment whether or not that was a good idea or not. So we took a little bit of a hit there. Okay, we're getting a mixed bag of signals here now. The eagle obviously breaking down, finding some support on the band, coming back with a red bar buy. This now is our signal bar because it's the one which turned the ATR over. And we're getting an opportunity for a second push on the entry. So the sell failed on the Raptor. I'm going to try a buy. After which, it may be all bets are off. Jim says the DAX is strong but lagging, and the banking index is also strong. So we'll see. Oh, and the advanced decline getting a little bit stronger. 2,200 buyers, 500 sellers. So we've gone up from about 1,200 to 1,700. That's kind of bullish. Jim says the Russell and the bank index, both very bullish, so it seems like the NQ is the odd man out at the moment. After that early surge out of the open, now all of a sudden we're floundering somewhat. Come on, buyers, where'd you go? Oh yes, there is a report. There are a couple of reports out this week, aren't there? Charles says there's a report out at the top of the hour. Yeah, you're probably right. That's what the market is kind of hesitating on. Our trend change signal here in the crude oil market worked out pretty well. So there was our trend change. We had our buy. Markets since made that nice little rally. Oh, don't you tag me again, you stinkers. Oh my gosh, you scoundrels. So they didn't want to go up, and now they don't want to go down. And I made a little bit of a hole for myself. See, did we get a first micro macro cross to the upside also? Oh, it did right about here. It never really triggered. Came back with the first micro macro cross lower. That one, of course, had some follow through to it. Well, we had good reasons for taking each of our trades. Unfortunately, not the result we were looking for. Tony's asking what happened to that crude oil bracket trade. I actually substituted the trend change signal for the bracket trade, but the bracket trade would have worked out just fine because here you can see it very clearly on the eagle where we had our congestion like this, and if you had traded the breakout, it would have been just fine. This little bar right here, this guy right here, this was your retest. So the market broke out, only retested for a single bar, and then started rallying again. Now you would have had an opportunity to buy on the Hawk or even the Falcon to a lesser degree, but on the Eagle, it only formed as one bar. But in case you're wondering, well, where's that retest? That was it, right there. Now, very often when this happens, we also end up getting a larger retest. So don't be surprised if we see crude oil dip here a little bit, maybe get back around 46.80, somewhere around the hard edge of the band. And you'll probably get another buying opportunity here. Jim says the mini Dow right in the middle of the 10 a.m. range. Same thing here with the NQ. You can see on the Raptor, we're stuck right in the middle. Getting a little bit of a retest now, actually a macro pullback signal here on the Hawk. Can I cover it above that swing high? Yes, I can. was all right. I thought about putting a runner on there, and it looks like that may have been a good idea. So we'll see how far it ends up going. Wow, look at that. And right back to the median line again here on our NASDAQ. Okay, working on a possible 4-arrow consolidation here. The hesitation is not giving me a lot of confidence, though. We had the quick little move down. We're essentially back to where we started the day. Now we're getting a yellow bar and a 4-arrow consolidation. Let's see, can I do one of those? Oops, ran away on me. Now we're coming back with a green bar sell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's our 4-arrow consolidation. Now it's 5. Now sometimes, it's 3, sometimes it's 5. Usually in the NASDAQ it's 4. I don't want to see, 6 or 8 or 9 arrows down here. Then the formation loses all its viability. Macro pullback signal and even a first micro macro cross if you want to see it that way. Yeah, these yellow bars. Never been a fan of trading the yellow bars. Getting an early trend change signal now on the Falcon. Just getting too much activity here. So here's an early trend change signal. Nice thing is we can cover it below the lows. The problem, of course, is that it's, once again, you can say this is counter trend. I should probably just be going in with a single, but it's too late now. we've hit our break-even trigger. Come on, get going. Oh, don't you dare. Okay, well, we'll see whether our break-even was a little bit snug. And here they're tempting me again with now a late filter entry signal. I don't normally like taking these signals so close together, but the parameters are such that we can still try to cover below the lows. The broker will be happy. Come on. Oh, you guys. Get up there. Oops, did I just lose my connection? I did too. Hold on a second here. Oh, what's up with the... Oh, how nice is this? My Ninja charts have frozen. Okay, I think I just got my connection back. And where's my data? Oops, wrong button. Yeah, the Geiger counter is dead flat, which means there's no data feed. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, I think you're right, Jim. I think I'm going to have to reboot. Wow, that's something new. All right, well, hold on here a second, guys. I'm sorry about this. We're going to have to reboot my NinjaTrader if it doesn't kickstart here in a second. No, it's not going to. All right, let's try this again. So, how about them Blue Jays? Yes, this is very weird, Mark. I've never had this happen, ever. But my computer has been acting funny the last few days. Oh yes, the broker will be hearing about this, Tony. Pardon me. Yeah, like Tony says, a note from my broker. Thank you for your recent trades. We are enclosing a free trip to Moose Jaw for you and your wife. Come on. Well, at least it looks like we're on the right side of that trade. They're ticking higher, not lower, so that's a little bit of a relief. Wow. Mark says the entire internet went down for just a moment. He said his wife and him both work out of the house, and we both lost connection for a moment. I was in the middle of a trade, and by the time it came back, I lost. I had no time to react. Oh man, like it isn't hard enough trading. Okay, so let's see if it recorded. Oh yeah, so it looks like we got tapped at break even. I'm going to have to check my order files later. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, looks like we're all set to go again. And yeah, that was weird to say the least. So let's see, our trade was like so. Put it on the signal right here. And we entered 67 and a quarter. Stop losses were down here somewhere. Oh, below the lows. So stop losses were good. So according to Ninja, it didn't get my, it looks like we did hit our profit target, or did we? Did we get, yeah, we hit our profit target. So I've got to check my orders afterwards. If they didn't record this profit, which I am entitled to, we're going to have issues. But normally things are very good. The order was still at the exchange, so I'll have to dig through the paperwork after and make sure. Looks like we missed a decent opportunity here in the Raptor and the Hawk also with that little fiasco. The Eagle, a little bit more difficult to catch that particular move on. Yeah, Mark says, I'm not sure how I could have reacted any better. Really, you can't, Mark. When your system goes down, you're, well, you're a fish out of water, right? You try to get your internet back up. You've got orders in play, so long as you have a stop loss order in play, it's not the end of the world, so to speak. You may end up taking a loss, but at least you're not leaving yourself open to an unlimited loss. So it's, like I said, I've never had that happen before. That was very odd. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Mark. He says, I wiped out my gain on the day. I'm back to the drawing board. It's a very unfortunate accident. Tony says there was no interruption, no internet interruption in Kansas, so there's the solution, folks. We all need to move to Kansas, and it'll be fine. All right, so the market looking a little bit more bullish again. Soybeans actually making a nice little run up today. Had a trend change signal here in the Falcon and a late filter entry. Oh, I see I don't have my trade manager on these yet. If your trade manager ever does this, where you go to load it and it won't load, simply remove it and reload it. Unfortunately, you need to connect your template and everything once again. But you can see here's the trend change signal, the up, the down, the up. A little while later, we had a late filter entry signal. Could we cover below the lows? Yes, we could. And look at that, nice little run up. You could have also bracketed this one as we were stuck between the primary resistance and the primary support. So here was another bracket style opportunity today. Another chance at a 4-arrow consolidation. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, shoot, there goes arrow number 4 right there. And a macro pullback. Doggone it. I was busy putting my trade manager on my soybean charts. I'm going to write the internet and tell them that I'm not at all happy with their performance. All right, well, let's see if we can't find something worthwhile here. Now this is a tough one here on the Falcon. It's essentially a trend line touch signal. We had another one back here. We're generating another one. The problem is, where in the world do we cover this trade? Like, I'd love to cover it down there, but that's impossible. We do have an opportunity for a second push on the entry. Can I shoot a trend line across here? It's so hard buying near the top end of the trading range. Especially if we shoot a trend line like that, this is starting to look like a trend line overshoot, doesn't it? Come on down a little bit, then I don't even need to worry about it. Let's see what else we're getting here, if anything. Wow, they just keep hammering against these highs. So it's a combination of the highs and the primary resistance area. Not the sweetest looking trade, folks. If you're looking for a trade to follow, the market is in an uptrend. That's pretty much what I'm basing this on. But I would feel a little bit more comfortable had I had an opportunity to buy perhaps on a little bit of a pullback. All right, let's see if we get any follow through now. So take a little bit of an uptick. Wow, look at that bar. Come on, get going. What are you waiting for? Soybeans and crude oil both making very nice progression today. We should have been trading those. The NASDAQ, a little bit of a mess by comparison. Oops. Okay, buyers, where are you? Come on, show yourselves. Yeah, you might be right, Charles. Charles says, I've quit trading the NQ. It's been acting very strange since Apple moved to the Dow. And yeah, you're probably right. Here's that retracement I was dreading. Get it out of your system. Just taking a quick look at the Dow. And here's the Falcon for the mini Dow. And it's more or less doing the same thing as the NASDAQ. But you're right, there might be a little bit of a nicer progression through there. Nice little bounce off of the primary resistance, comes out with a trend change signal. A little bit of a hesitation there, but nothing too serious. I know Jim really likes to follow the Dow. I used to follow the Dow a little bit more myself, and then the Dow started just trading so flat that I moved back to the NASDAQ. All right, let's see if we got anything else going on here. We've got a couple hard edges just below us here on the Raptor and the Eagle. I'm going to try to be very conservative with my stop in how I'm adjusting it. I know that's not at all like me because sometimes I tend to get a little bit quick, but with the added volatility, it seems that you should almost take the mindset of a card game. You know, if you've ever played poker or if you've ever been to Vegas and placed a bet on a table, well, if you don't like the result, you're not allowed to take your bet back. And this is kind of the same in that I placed my bet that the market's going to go higher. My bet is down here. I could roll it below these lows, which seems like the prudent thing to do. However, I noticed with the Raptor trade early on, which resulted in a small loss, that had I left my stop alone, it would have actually resulted in a profit. So I could, you know, maybe follow this trend line a little bit better. But we'll see if we get any kind of follow through on this now. Okay, an early trend change signal to the downside here. Oh, that flipped over relatively quickly. A whole mixed bag here on the Hawk and the Eagle and the Raptor also. It's very much a market that's content to move sideways. Well, the Hawk definitely bearish. Right, we've got first micro macro cross. We're working on a 4-arrow consolidation, which is going to work out just like this. In fact, it might be worth putting a runner on if it takes out the lows. I don't know. Oh, by the way, folks, I don't advocate taking trades opposite each other. So we're currently long in the Falcon. I would not normally take a short trade in the Hawk. If you don't segregate your accounts, you're going to actually end up offsetting your long position. If you're trying to trade off of a single account, you simply couldn't do it. But we're in the demo room here, so we can try a couple different things. The problem, of course, with being long one and short the other is you're going to be right on one and wrong on the other. So you end up trading dollars, really. I would rather only be wrong once. There is the potential to be wrong twice here. That the market can reverse high enough to tag this stop and then reverse low enough and tag this stop. Another reason I don't take counter trend positions. Or I guess that's the wrong word. Opposite positions. If I'm already in one trade, I don't trade counter that one. Well, watch this. We may actually get that. We're going to get them to hit the stop here. Oh, not quite. Well, the advanced decline keeps rallying. Jim says 2,300 buyers, 500 sellers, so that's about 1,800 to the good, or to the buyer's advantage anyway. A lot of resistance on these highs. All right, so they stopped us on the Hawk trade. Now let's see if they reverse and stop us on the Falcon trade too. Again, all the more reason you don't do that kind of stuff in real life. If you're in a position, you're in a position. If you miss another trade because you're on the wrong side of the trade, well, welcome to the world of trading. the eagle, giving us a look at a hard edge bounce here. Big congestion. You know, I've said to you before, if you see the market starting on the left, upper left, going to the lower right, you're in a downtrend. If you're in the lower left, upper right, you're in an uptrend. If you get more than two of these on a chart, you have no trend. And that's where we're at right now. We have no trend. We went up, we went down, we went up. Anybody's guess where we're going from here. So this current bar is going to be our signal bar. If it closes higher, you could anticipate the trade to look something like this. But you can see there's been some reluctance around this 42.87 to 42.90 region. All right, I'm going to throw it in for the demo room's sake. It's, again, not the juiciest looking trade. Here we're coming back with a Raptor double pullback, hard edge cloud bounce, and we're getting the same kind of scenario going on here. So we'll see whether they make a little bit of a push through the upside. Jim says the DAX is tailing off a little bit. Not getting the follow through that we normally see. I haven't been following the news. Is there a report due out tomorrow? I'm just going to take a look. Or even today, are we anticipating anything else? No, not today. Yeah, employment reports tomorrow. I see that. So that's what the market may be waiting on, or trying to second guess even. So a lot more yellow bars going on here. We can cancel that buying attempt. as well as this one. Okay, here comes the Eagle again with another hard edge bounce, as with the Raptor. We could be a little bit more aggressive on this one if we chose. Nice thing about this order is that, well, we can cover the trade a little bit closer below these lows here. No, that's not what I want. All right, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, this is interesting. If you ever use the fixed strategy and it ends up on the wrong side, you need to throw a minus sign in front of your value. The reason that happens is the fixed strategy actually employs a moving average to determine what side of the market to place the trade on, or to place your stop on, pardon me. Okay, regarding our Raptor trade, I could probably roll my stop below these lows. If it fails at these lows now, well then that's probably as good a time as any to get out. Our Raptor trade took no time whatsoever to reach its profit objective. That was nice. Gotta like it when that happens. And where are we? We're almost here. Looks like we slipped a tick. Oops. Pardon me, I got still the aftermath of my cold. So another trade at break even, and I should have left my stop alone. I would have hit my profit objective. There we go. Whew, that was hard work. I was just thinking the same thing. Mark says, yay, I'm back to break even on the day. I think I'm in the same boat, Mark. Wiped out some of those earlier losses, so at least can finish the day even, but we should be able to sneak in one more profitable trade here before the end of the session. Finish the day in the black. Tony's asking if there's been any software updates with DTS, as there have never been any updates to DTS apart from one cosmetic one, I think, that came out about a year or so ago. But there have not been any changes made to the trading software itself. I think most of the changes have come with the Trade Manager and Trailblazer, and again, many of those have just been cosmetic. So we had a little bit of a shot to the upside, and now the market is hesitating once again. A little bit of a pullback. Getting a late filter entry signal, the market seems content to trade somewhere in this channel region. Took a lot of work to get it to this profit target. The market flinched. I know the late filter entry is very strong. I know I should trust it. I got a chance for a second push on the entry. We'll see. Maybe it'll just reverse from here. No, it's not going to. Well, we'll throw that order in. A lot of times DTS is smarter than I am. Come on, take the temptation away. Just head lower here. Spoil the signal. There we go. Okay, so our filter is out of sync again. The late filter entry signal is no more. Of course, if it comes back now with another set of green bars and a buy signal, that will be enough to flip the filter over once more, in which case we're going to have another late filter entry signal, in which case I'm going to have to make yet another difficult decision. But such is trading. That's why we get the big bucks, right? We get paid to make all the hard choices. All right, you guys, I'm going to button up the room. Tomorrow, Friday, expect a real crazy day, and that's very likely to be short-lived. Of course, it's going into the Labor Day holiday weekend. I think you're going to see traders just unload first thing in the morning and then get out of Dodge. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I've been wrong once before. Okay, we'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. See you then. Bye for now.